Most people just carry their phone, wallet, and keys. Me, I've somehow turned my everyday bag into a cross between a travel kit, a tech store, and a convention survival kit. So today I'm going to empty all of this out and show you exactly what I carry with me every single day. Starting off with the bag itself, which admittedly I change almost as often as I change my underwear, but this is my current everyday carry sling. It's the TomTok 5.5 litre Tactical X-Pack sling bag, which I actually bought to be a carry case for my Nintendo Switch 2 when that was first released, but I very quickly realised it was better suited to my everyday needs than everything else I've tried over the years because of how much it can fit in, its nice rigid structure, and having just the right amount of organisational pockets and whatnot. It's actually designed to fit a Switch 2 or a Steam Deck or an iPad mini or a DJI Osmo Pocket camera setup. That's all tech I use pretty consistently, and it would all fit inside this main compartment, unfortunately, in a bag of this size, not all at the same time. And when one of them is in here, I pretty much can't use it for carrying anything else, but it is nice knowing I've got room for those bits if I need it. But really, at this point, I just basically use this for my everyday carry. So what I'm going to do is empty it all out. As you can see, it does get pretty full. We're going to empty it all out. And as I load everything back in it, I'll talk you through what's in here, why it's in there, and occasionally some alternatives that I've used or still use when the need arrives. And we are going to start things off in the nice generous front pocket, easily findable because it's identifiable by a fuggler. Also worth mentioning as well, I do have this massive carabiner attached to the side of the bag, which is super handy in terms of dangling my bag off of a table. If I'm ever out in public, I can just kind of dangle it on a table rather than putting it on the floor, which I do like being able to do. But more often than not, Anna confiscates this from me and uses it as a way to attach her bag to her mobility scooter so that she doesn't have to worry about that being snatched out of her basket. So I always have it with me because if she had it with her, she'd lose it. At least this way, we know I've always got it. But yeah, if we head into the front pocket, which as you can see is quite generous, and we'll just pull everything out of there. One of the other things I like is that it's got this bright orange lining all the way around the interior, so it's really easy to find stuff when you're rummaging in there because most of my stuff is dark coloured and stands out on the orange background, so you're not having to look for black on black, which can be an absolute nightmare. And if we have a look in this area, we've got these two little pockets and then the main pocket area, plus this little dangleberry that I attach my keys to, which my keys are currently here. Shall I show you my keys? I guess it's part of the everyday carry. I've got one of these little orbit key things with a little doodad on there and an AirTag and a car key and a second fuggler just in case I lose my first fuggler. So that normally gets clipped onto there. And then we just repack the bits and bobs. So one of the little pockets has my ear stuff in, and by ear stuff I have my loop earbuds, which as an autistic man who is quite sensitive to sounds in noisy places, these are super handy if I just want to dull the world. It doesn't really block the world out. I don't know if these are supposed to completely block out sound for people. They don't for me, but they do dull everything. So they're handy when I'm just trying to quieten everything down and stop things being quite so overwhelming. If I want to completely block out the world, I use my AirPods Pro, which are the ones with the good noise cancelling on. The noise cancelling on them is almost as good as it is on some overhead headphones. So these always come with me as well because I can just block the world out with these. But also they're handy because if I need to edit a TikTok or something on my phone while I'm out and about, I've got a way to do it without annoying whoever I'm with. So that goes in, those two go into one of the little pockets. The pocket opposite them has this, my little Peak Design phone tripod, which works in conjunction with the Peak Design case that I have on my phone, and it can just attach to that, and it works as a little tripod which you can use at various angles to either film from or use it to watch stuff, or if I want to set my phone up as a extra screen. It's just really handy, folds very flat, attaches by a magnet, and I just keep that with me because, again, if I need to film an emergency TikTok, it's a way to stand my phone on a tripod if I have none of the rest of my filming gear with me. Next up is my wallet, and for that I want to say a big thank you to today's episode sponsor, Extra, for sending it to me, because their Wallet Pro is a massive upgrade on what I was using before. As you can see, it's slim, minimalist, and way easier to use. You just click this button on the side and all your cards pop out the top for easy access. You can still fit plenty of cards in it, but it takes up hardly any room in my sling bag, which is exactly what I want. It's even got a little money sleeve for if you need cash money. I don't really carry cash money. This is from when I went to Denmark earlier in the year, but it's the only cash I have anywhere in my house. The other clever bit is this, the Finder card. This, as you can see, is credit card size, fits into the Wallet Pro and works with Apple Find My. So if you ever misplace your wallet, you can literally make it ping from your phone to track it down on a map. And given how often I put things down and then completely forget about them, that's already been a lifesaver. And Exeter don't just stop at wallets. They also make this really cool vacuum kit. It's currently being demonstrated for you by a handsome model, but basically it compresses your clothes down so you can pack way more into the same space. And I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking it too. What about on the way home when you don't have a vacuum handy? You don't need a big old vacuum. It's provided with the little vacuum thing that charges up by USB-C and can just fit in your bag. And that's all you need to suck all the air out of your thing. So very, very clever. I'm already planning to use it on my next trip, and it's certainly going to make my goal of achieving true one-bag travel a little bit easier. And now for the good bit. Exeter are currently running a Labour Day sale until the 16th of September with up to 48% off. And that discount is stackable with my extra 10% off code when you use code Chapman at checkout. Just use the link down in the description below, or if you're watching on a TV, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now and it will take you straight to their website. Thanks to Exeter for supporting the channel. Like I say, the link is right there at the top of the description. Don't forget to use discount code Chapman for your extra 10% off. And now let's get back to my bag. So wallet goes in there as well. I then have last couple of emergency bits that I might need to get hold of without rummaging. So I have my Burt's Bees lip balm, my O'Keeffe's hand cream, and some hand sanitizer as well, because you never know when you're going to get filthy hands when you're out and about. And then the only other thing that goes in the front pocket is my sunflower lanyard, which again, being autistic, I find this is actually quite handy to be able to just put on if I'm somewhere where it's not that I'm looking for additional assistance, more that I want people to be aware that I'm a bit weird. So I like to wear it in theme parks. I like to wear it at conventions. And I feel like I would like to wear it in airports, train stations. I feel like it's just an extra layer of the people who need to know what it's for, know what it's for. Everyone else can just ignore it. But it has helped me out on a couple of occasions, both in terms of just having airport people asking if there's anything I need, asking if I need any extra help, or maybe people at conventions in shops being a little bit more forgiving if I walk into them while filming. On that, I dangle a fuggler, which is basically just a weight to hold it down. And I've recently added a little pirate Lego minifigure that doubles up as a torch as well, because it's always handy to have a torch with you. So that all goes into the front of the bag, zips up nicely in there. If I am somewhere where I'm worried about stuff getting nicked, I can just loop the carabiner through the hook on there as well, so it's not easy to just whip that open. So I do keep all of the zip ends on the same end as the carabiner, so it can all be hooked together to stop people just being able to get into it. Always thinking. And then we've got a secret compartment on the back as well, which when I'm traveling, this is where my passport will go for now. It's just got a little notebook because it's always handy to have a little notebook. I also keep my Lego passport in there usually, but I've took it out, put it somewhere, and I don't know where it is. If you don't know what a Lego passport is, my word, you've not lived. And then we've got our main compartment area on the top, which is huge. Right, what have we got in here? Let's get all this out and start reloading. So that shows you just how big this main compartment area is. For context, there is my Steam Deck, which as you can see fits in there quite comfortably. For anyone who's got a Steam Deck, you'll know how big and bulky one of these is. So being able to just stick it in a bag and take it on a plane or take it on a train is a bit of a game changer. Although admittedly for me at the moment, it's much more likely to be the Switch 2, which is a smaller profile anyway. But within here, we've got a big back compartment. We've got a little pen loop. We've got a couple of other little compartments there, and then a little zipped area at the front here that I use to put my sunglasses in when I'm out and about, but they're in the car at the moment, so you just have to believe that you can fit a pair of sunglasses in there. So going through what goes back in here, I have 2 of these metal sporks, which almost got confiscated from me last time we went to Disneyland because I forgot they were in there and they didn't really like them. They did let me bring them in eventually. But these are just handy. I've got 2, one for me, one for Anna. They're just handy for eating when you're out and about so that we don't have to use plastic or wooden cutlery. It's got a spoon on one end, a fork on the other. It's also got a can opener and a bottle opener built in, which we don't need those parts. And it's got a little serrated edge, which I think is what they didn't like at Disneyland. So you can even, at a push, and I have eaten a salad like this in a hotel room before, use one side as the knife, one side as the fork, and eat a little ZZ salad out of a cardboard box. So they always just live in the back, although next time I go to Disneyland, I will remember to take them out. I also have a couple of pens, just my favourite everyday pen, which is a little Pilot G2, and also a Sharpie, a double-ended Sharpie. So got the fat end, you got the thin end, really handy for signing emergency autographs, or more realistically for just times when you might need a permanent marker. I have one of these, which I don't really need so much anymore, because I don't anymore have any devices that run on anything other than a USB-C. This is a bit of a hangover from when I used to have devices on Lightning as well as USB-C, like my old phone. I used to have a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes that were Lightning as well. I keep it in there because I may as well. It's lived in there forever, but actually I just have one of these USB-C cables now, USB-C at both ends, because that will charge every device I might have with me. That'll work for my phones, my camera, my headphones, my Switch 2, my Steam Deck, my microphones. Pretty much anything I could possibly need to charge can be charged off of that cable. So that just lives in there as well. And then to make it work, I have one of these little slimline Nightcore battery banks, which is 10,000 battery units, and as a USB-C connector on the end, and at the moment needs charging. It's only got 3 or 2 of the 4 lights lit up, so that does need to go on charge. That lives in one of the little pockets in there. I also have an AirTag. When I've got my wallet and my keys in here as well, we have triple redundancy on the AirTag situation, because we've got an AirTag on my keys, an AirTag that lives in my bag, and of course the AirTag functionality on the wallet as well. So in fact, we might even have a 4th, because we've got another AirTag in this little pouch, which is like my little useful things pouch, which doesn't come with me everywhere because there's some things in here you probably shouldn't have going around and out and about with you. But it's got a couple of lens wipes. As a glasses wearer, I need lens wipes. I've got a tiny little torch that I've had for ages. It's a little Olight torch, but it's very bright, even better than the Lego one. I've got a lighter, because the amount of times I've needed to light birthday candles and not been able to. I've got one of these, which is just a little multi-tool that I got off of Amazon. So it's got a pair of scissors on one end. I think it's a pair of pliers on the other end. It's deliberately one that doesn't have a blade on, because obviously you can't really go out and about with a blade in the UK, or it has a tiny little short blade. But I can't travel out and about with my penknife because you're not allowed to. But there you go, it's got a tiny little blade. But that's one you can get away with. But it's really just so that I've got the pliers and the scissors. And the scissors come in more handy than anything. I could basically probably replace that with a tiny pair of scissors. And then I've got a couple of these little hand wipes that if I don't have my hand sanitizer with me, it's just an extra redundancy thing. I am quite particular about when I'm eating now. I don't really want to eat without washing my hands first. So I've got my hand sanitizer, I've got my wipes. Obviously, ideally, I can wash my hands, but I like to have multiple different options. And that just lives in this little pouch, because that way the pouch can easily be moved from bag to bag. Likewise, we've got this thing, which is actually something Anna got me online. I think this is from TikTok Shop, and it's a little medication thing. So it's got some little compartments down the bottom here that I use to keep my medication in when I travel. So I've got some hay fever medication. There's enough for 2 days worth of my day, or 4 days worth of my daily medication. And then in these ones that are full of Anna's painkillers. So when we're out together and she has inevitably forgotten to bring hers, I have some backups for her as well, which is always handy. I have a little pack of tissues because it's just a handy thing to have, isn't it? And then I keep these with me everywhere I go, just in case I need to do some emergency content. This is the little DJI Mic 2 setup that can plug into my phone. And basically the combination of this and my phone means I can do a full YouTube video, a full TikTok anywhere I need to without needing to carry extra gear with me. If I'm going out and about specifically to make content, I'll usually leave this at home because I'll replace this in the bag with my actual setup. So I've got my camera, my DJI pocket camera, the little battery pack and tripod, and the microphone that goes with that. It's another of the same microphones. So they take up about the same space. So that's for emergencies and is more versatile. This is when I specifically need content, and I use this other places as well. So I don't want to just leave it in my bag. This lives in the bag, so I'm never without the ability to make a video. I also will sometimes have an umbrella with me. We're in the UK. It's sensible to sometimes have an umbrella, and my little packable shopping bag, which with all that in there, you can see we do still have space in the top. We could probably, at a push, squeeze the camera stuff in as well if we wanted to. Yeah, that shuts with the camera stuff in the top. Or we could decide to leave that out and take a bigger battery bank, which if I've got my laptop with me, this will usually travel. It does also fit an iPad mini. So an iPad mini, if I'm on a plane, the iPad mini could go in the back there, or a Switch could go in the back there. If I want to annoy Anna, I could put my label maker in there and it all fits. It's just a very, very functional bag that I like very, very much. And it all packs down nice and small and easy to carry with a nice padded shoulder strap. So there you go. That is what I carry around with me every day. I admit it is probably way more than most people do and probably more than I need to, but at least I am always prepared, whether it's for filming, traveling, accidentally ending up in a Lego store. I've got everything I could possibly need for any scenario. Let me know down in the comments, what is the one thing you always carry with you? Because I am always looking for new ideas for new things to sneak into the bag. And if you are still rocking an old bulky wallet, don't forget to check out Extra through the link down below and grab that extra discount while that is still on sale. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribed, and I will see you very soon for the next one.